Welcome back to the Rivers Transference Authority. I like the name. It has my name in it. In any event, we are struggling with our money crunch after last episode, but we do have a train that's going back and forth, so hopefully that's going to get us a few more bucks. I was sitting there looking, and I think we need to do a few things. We have a lot of maintenance on infrastructure, and really, if I had had to do it all over again, I don't think I would have built these depots. Now, we don't need the depots, and I think they're costing us a lot of money. This is where our maintenance costs are coming from. So I'm thinking that we should probably consider doing two things, even though it hurts us. And I have time paused now just so that we can consider doing this, right? So like, I built this fancy thing, and we are in the industrial area, but we really don't necessarily need any industrial stuff up here, right? Now, we might want to get some people out of our industrial area, and same thing with getting people out of our residential area. And these would be great to have if it wasn't just killing us on our maintenance cost. So I'd like to try to make some drastic changes, and yeah, this is going to take a little while to fix. So what I would like to do is actually come in and bulldoze these. Like, we'll keep the ones that are near our train station, right? Oops, did it not? Oh, I don't have the money. Oh, you know what? Let's borrow some money. I don't even have the money to delete things. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I had paused now that I think about it. There we go. But I hadn't thought about, hadn't thought about deleting things costing us money. There we go. So we're going to delete this, and we are going to delete this. All right, so that's going to mess up our lines in this town, which is kind of another conversation. We're going lean and mean, right? So that should have really just cut down. Now, I don't know how much. What we're going to do is we're going to do it stops, buildings. We're just going to use these little tram stops and or cargo stops, right? And I think they'll be a lot more efficient. And then plus we can kind of put them right where we think our industrial is. If we come over to our layers, maybe that would be good to put on, right? Is it destination? Yeah. Destinations layer? No, building type. This one. Land use layer. So we can kind of put this better right in the middle at that point. Right. So if we do have anything industrial, which we don't, so that's the other thing. We're not going to be delivering anything industrial. But I think what I'd like to possibly do, I don't know, do we need to get people from here? Yeah, I don't know. Is it worth putting a bus stop in there, or are we just truly going lean and mean? Right? Like where we would put a bus stop in here for now. Because and that would be our passenger route. Would just be like there, back and forth. And then we would come in here. Boy, look, that's covering, how much is this? Yeah, let's hit escape. Right, that's covering most of our, we don't even need any stop to deliver the bread that's coming in here to our commercial, right? So what I'm going to do, and this is another thing, do we want to just sell some of these vehicles? So let's go look at our lines, and I'm sure there's issues with this, right? FTR counterclockwise, manage line. Right, so these stops, I think, yeah, the central one is the only one we still have. So we're going to get rid of this. And we're going to get rid of that. And then we're just going to say add a station. Oh, yeah, kind of broken there, isn't it? Why won't it let me? There we go. All right, and then we're just going to come up entirely and get vehicles on the line, right? So let's send those vehicles for now back to here. So right, this is going to be, I keep track of what line I have. The orange one, this counterclockwise one is the one that will be good. Now, so what I'm going to do just for now is take these two vehicles and send them back to the depot. I'm assuming they'll just go back to this one, right? But we should have just cut down on our expenses here. I know this seems kind of drastic in a way, but you know, for now, I think that's fine, right? Until because I'm going into what I'm thinking of as a bit of a survival mode. And I would like to try to do the same thing here. See, we really don't have anything over here. We don't have any people, right? Like, at least if we come to here, we have some people. Look, we got 14, but they're only on the counterclockwise loop. And then we don't really need counterclockwise and clockwise up here if we can get rid of that. So this, yeah, just so I don't get totally confused, let's go to line manager. Right, there's no, could not connect to all stations. Can I get rid of that line? Yes. And we're going to do the same thing here, even though this, let's take a look at our land usage first. Okay, so this is our commercial, but what we're going to do is we're going to put a stop like right here. So let's go ahead and delete this one. All right, as painful as that is in a way. And then we're going to come up here and we're going to delete this one, even though we had people in there and it was probably not the worst stop. We're gonna do this as smart as we possibly can. So there we go. So our light blue here we want to cover with a new cargo stop. Or no, we don't even need that, right? Because we don't have any cargo coming up here for the moment. All right, so let's just see how much can we cover. I can't really see in that mode. I really don't like that turn everything white thing. See, this would cover the vast majority of people, that one stop. All right, and then we do have a depot up here, so let's go ahead and take... So we have 2 vehicles on this one. Manage vehicles. We'll send them back to the depot. Right, and then, okay, manage lines. And that's the red one. And we're going to get rid of that line. And then we're going to take this one, get rid of this stop, and this stop. And there's Rever Central. And then we're going to add a station. All right, it's a little bit of a long run for that, but there we go. And then... how many vehicles? I think I can't really see. Why doesn't it tell you how many vehicles? I guess it's manage vehicles. This one. So we got 2 vehicles on there. So let's see how we make out. If we start jamming up with people, then that's fine. Right? We'll go add more at that point. All right, and then we're going to come down here, and I don't think that there's any particular benefit to bringing people back and forth, and we certainly don't need this siding, right? Well, no, this is the one that's, yeah, see, we don't have any trains down in here. All of the commercial, let's go look at our land use area again. Yeah, so like people would be coming from here, and this is our industrial area, which is using the fuel, right? So that's not too bad that we have that back and forth, but we just really don't need it, right? So we're going to come up here, and we're going to delete that. Oops, I hit the wrong button. And we're going to delete that. And then we're going to take a look at our lines. And we're going to tell, oops, yeah, let's go to here. We only had 1 vehicle on there anyway, but we're going to tell him to go back to the depot. Send, yes. And then we'll go over here, and then we'll delete that line, right? So now, you know, as painful as that was and as a waste, like if I had to do it all over, I would have done that. Now, I'm just curious. I don't necessarily want to do this, but can we actually get rid of... Oh, yeah, we could get rid of this bus stop. Right? Yeah. Or is that getting rid of the whole thing? One module would be removed. Okay, so... Yeah, I'm not sure how much... Let's just leave that alone. Like, we don't need to go that in depth. But I think that will save us some money. if we come over here to our lines and we take a, well, I guess we can't really take a look, but I'm hoping that this will make these two a bit more profitable. And then I'm also very curious to see how much we just cut down on our maintenance costs, because I think that was really just not helping us. I mean, our loan amount's not helping us, but that was really, really not helping us. Now, the other thing I would like to do, hopefully while we have a few bucks, oops, I kind of went the wrong way, is balance out these lines so that we're flowing as well as possible. Like, it seems like we have a bit of extra fuel here, which is okay. And I'm hoping to be able to do this without taking out too many loans. But we only have a little bit of oil here. So let's just see if we're balancing. I got another comment, and I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the name right now. It was a new name to me. But I appreciate, hey, all the comments you guys can give me, I think I need at this point. So we are going to be intelligent and listen to others' wisdom, right? So right now it's taking 55 seconds to get crude oil from here. So what I'm thinking I should do is I would like to get this to say, let's add one more to here for now. All right, so if we manage vehicles, all right, we just added one more road vehicle to that. Let's come back to this. So that's 49 seconds, which is really close to 50. And then these should take twice as long, right? Because they need twice as much oil. So this is awful close, but I would like to get the Reversboro fuel, if I could, down to about like a little bit over 104 seconds, right? So that there's hopefully always some oil there. And in order to do that, let's see, you're at 3 minutes is like 180. For now, let's just see if we can't add, what do we think? One or two more vehicles in here. Well, let's add one because we can always come back and add another. No. Yeah, let's just add one. Let's start. Well, I want to do something else a little more drastic. We'll come back to this. But let's see if the math, it does redo the math. That's not too bad, right? I don't know if we're going to get it any closer. And I've noticed these have changed. So, like in other words, they change a little bit as things flow, it seems to me. But let's go up to the wheat line here. Can I? All right. Yeah, so we're going to come up to this wheat line. Now, the other thing I noticed is that we're doing kind of okay with supplying the fuel, right? But we could definitely supply more. But to me, this is about surviving until we can get to about 1870, where we can get better trucks, I think. I've never played that far in the game, so we're learning together here. But what I would like to do is take a much better look at this, because we can really ramp up the amount of food that's going to Fort Riverdale. And I don't want to do it too quick, but what I was thinking of doing right off the bat is just doubling the number of trucks on this wheat line. And then I think we need to leave it a minute or two. Yeah, manage vehicles. All right, just double them all. All right, so now we're going to have twice as many. Now, while we still have money, I'm going to count on the fact that this is accurate, even though it's probably not, and that's just over a minute, right? So we'd want to get pretty much close to, well, would it be double? This is 180, so we'd almost need, you know, if this is going to be that, at this point we would almost need to cut this down. We probably could even add another one. Let's add an extra one more to the wheat here. Right, and I don't care if we like bulk add these. It'll take them a little while to get down there. Right, that's 60 seconds. So we want to take this down. So we want, I just did that for the math purposes. I didn't know it would go right to 60. And again, these might change. But we're going to want to bring this down and cut it in half. Does that make sense? Because this would be 180. Then that would take this to 90. No, we want this to be, we want 3 more on the bread truck line, if that logic works out. Because we want it to be a third faster. All right, this is the trucks made it back in there. Yeah, we want 3 more of these, and I just want to buy them, buy vehicles while I have some money, just in case. 1, 2, 3. All right, and I want to see how that goes. I'm okay if there's, let's think if there's anything else, but I think we would be okay. I mean, if this all works out, we'll see in a minute. So let's start playing some time. And what I want to do is just, I added these other 3 trucks here to FTR bread, so I don't want to do too much more. We got the 3 wheat trucks on their way down here, and I think this is going to end up being a bit of a choppy episode because I would like to cover some time up to 1870 and just hopefully we can get, look, we got some earnings. So I don't know if that's, say we're destroying this stuff. Let's just see if we're that much more efficient. Hopefully it doesn't affect the number of passengers in here too greatly. And I think we may have done a lot to make ourselves a bit more profitable by cutting down on those maintenance costs. I don't know if these depots cost us a lot, but I guess they're a necessary evil. So here comes our train again. And then there goes all our, a lot of our trucks out, so we should still have, these road vehicles. So when I think it's appropriate, I will launch a couple more road vehicles and get this going, but I don't want to, like right now we have 18, which is good because that's enough here. But I just want to make sure we stay ahead with our wheat before I start launching, get these wheat trucks out there, getting the wheat back and forth, and then we can ramp this up. All right, so just take it a lot more slowly than I was trying to, and hopefully that's the last loan we take out for quite a while. Like if I take out another loan, I'm hoping that it's in 1870 so that we can upgrade some vehicles or something like that. Maybe, maybe I would consider taking out a loan if I thought it was really worth it to get maybe another train, but I just need to try to get this profitable, and hopefully by monitoring our lines here, we'll get it too profitable, right? And see, I'm okay with this because the fuel is the last step. I want this to be a little bit faster than this, which it is, and then this, I could consider adding another vehicle, but we'll see what happens. And then how are we doing here? So bread truck, well, we're going to add more to the bread truck soon, but let's get these down there and see how that goes, and then hopefully we can get these 2 to be a lot more profitable, our 2 bus lines. All right, so let me come back in a few minutes, maybe in about a year or a year and a half, once this stuff gets flowing and I get these other vehicles in, and then that way the recording doesn't end up way too long, and we can see if we can just get to the point we're not constantly in the negative. So I will see you guys in a minute. I'll keep pretty much going to sit here and stare at this and keep an eye on my trucks. I'll get these bread trucks down, and I'll see you then. Okay, I've used my superpowers of time stopping in order to do a little bit of a freeze frame for you guys. Just as much to get my recording started up so we could play time. And this is the beginning of the year, and I would like to point out, look, everything is now in the green, in the black, in the blue. And we actually made money. We went from losing 72,000 a year to making 22, which is great because that means we're covering our maintenance costs now, plus we're making a few bucks. Now, I don't know how well this will hold up year after year, and I'm a little bit, I think we need to add some vehicles as soon as we get some money to the bread truck here, right, if we want to make it more efficient. But I also don't mind that I'm kind of like piling up a little bit of extra bread in FTL bread here. Now, we lost a little money last year on our railroad. If you look, this is last year over here. I'm not sure, again, if you're on your iPhone, I'm sorry. This is as big as I can make it and stand it. But it looks like every once in a while we'll get like 2 trains in a year. So I'm not sure if this will happen every 3rd year or every 2 years. But whatever it is, it will be fine, right? Like, because that will, like, we made $225,000 on the year we did have 2 trains. So hopefully at some point in the future, once we're pretty sure we have enough passengers, we can, maybe even put another train, and that'll be even more profit on that line. But in the meantime, I think we're going to have these years where we lose a little bit. But that's okay. As long as we're making money on our road vehicles, I'm absolutely fine with that. All right, so let's close that. And if we look at our lines, this line is getting out of whack. I don't know why, but it's like these two numbers are increasing. So I guess it does averaging. Like this line increased a little bit too. So like I said, when we get some money, and it'll probably be when our next train comes in. Let's head up there. Let's see, where is our train? Oh, he just showed up. Good. So we got a little bit of money. So let's go ahead here. Well, I guess we could just go to bread truck, manage vehicles, and I'm thinking we put just 2 more on there. Yep, FTF bread truck. All right. So that should get, let's see, what does that get us down to? Yeah, that's about exactly where I would want it if that works out, because it's almost exactly twice this one. And then Riverboro oil should be down around 1 minute. So that means if it's taking 3 minutes, let's do fuel, go there this way. Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, look, we're definitely backing up with fuel oil here. So we would want really twice as many, because this is, well, not twice as many. Let's do 3 more. We'll take our chances. All right, so we'll go to here, Riversboro fuel, manage vehicles. 1, 2, 3. All right, so what does that bring us to? 98 seconds. Crude is at 49, so that's perfect there, but we would want maybe 1 more on the oil. How are we doing on oil? I just want to make sure we're backing up, or are backed up. We went way too far. I think maybe 1 more on the oil, 1 more on the crude. Yeah, let's do that before we run out of money. Manage vehicles, 1 more. Right, and then here. Right, so where does that put us now? Riversboro fuel is, I don't want that to be faster than this one, but let's see how the numbers change over time. Like, because the last thing we want is them going back and forth without stuff. Right, 45 seconds. Yeah, these two are a little bit faster. Yeah, we don't have any money at this moment. We'll have to wait for another train to come in. But what I may do while we're paused is just pause the video recording, that is just keep making sure these are balanced and that they don't change too drastically. And then the other thing we need to do is make sure that we can handle that increase over here, right? Now, that should keep going up if the town grows. Now, I don't know. Will it grow 70% even if we don't have all these other things in place? Because I know, there could be a limit that way. But it looks like we're, yeah, see, and this number's changing. But this, if this is 45 seconds, this should be 90. Yeah, I'm even, well, you know what? Do we take this vehicle back off of here before he even has a chance to fill up? Right? He doesn't have anything on him. Yeah, let's do that. Let's switch him over to crude. He doesn't have anything on him. He's sitting in the station, though. Let's switch him over to... Oh, we have a rush. That's a problem. Yeah, let's switch him over to oil to fuel. There we go. Yeah, that's a better balance. As long as those numbers stay steady. Though the problem I have is I think we're going to have a little bit of vehicles sitting here. Let's go up to there. Oh, no, they're just dropping off. Okay, that's the other station. As long as, that's right, because we have a good amount. So they went to that station first instead of going to go pick up stuff. But that's good. When they get down here, they'll have plenty to pick up. Good. All right. Well, there. I hope that makes sense. And like I said, a lot of this is just going to be trying to survive until we can ramp up these vehicles. Hopefully, our earnings are looking pretty sad, but I've also learned not to get too excited because we just made $167,000 in investments. And I'm not sure if we're going to make that much profit, if that makes... But we'll see. It sort of depends on this railroad, being profitable this year. Like, if it's not profitable, then... yeah, that would just have problems. And look, we're showing negative in the road vehicles. And at some point, I know this vehicle maintenance can definitely become an issue. It seems to go up every year, even if we don't buy more vehicles. So as these vehicles get older... But what I'm hoping to do is mostly stay on the cargo side, right? We just cut down our passenger vehicles quite a bit. And then we have these other ones. Let's just go confirm. These don't... oh, why is there... I did see a minus come off here. It probably costs us money to have the depots. I don't know that we really need that many of them, but if we come to here... let's come to here. Right, this is in good condition. It's vehicle number 1. So at some point, if we start getting, we can replace these road vehicles if we're not going to use them. And then hopefully we can put ourselves in a position where we're paying off some loan before, before these vehicles start going bad and before, start really costing us a lot of money. And then let's just take a look at Fort River. Yeah, so we're giving them fairly good food, so we could definitely even ramp this up further, but I'm pretty sure the next vehicle that we would get would haul 8. So as we start replacing these, we would be ramping up the amount quite greatly. Now, is our line still balanced? No. See, the bread truck now has... see, I don't understand why this number keeps changing. But what we could do is, if we... yeah, see, like this bread truck is full. As long as we keep full bread trucks, but what I might do is if this stays true, because that would be 120 seconds, right? So I might take off one of these. If I run out of bread here, I may intercept one of these guys, like this one. You know what? I think I'll just do it and put him on the wheat. Right, and then 56 seconds would be 112, and this is 115, so that's perfect, or much closer to perfect. How are we doing here? Yeah, we would definitely want the fuel to be the slowest. I don't think we're going to get it any closer, so you get the idea. So let me just keep doing that for a while, and when something happens noteworthy with our money, one way or the other, I might come back at the end of the year and end of maybe next year and just see maybe when we get the railroad, where we could see how often this railroad train's going to become profitable for us. I like where we're at when we look at our lines as far as the profitability here goes. So this is key, I think, to our survival. If all of those can stay in the blue. And then I'll just try to micromanage these a little bit. And if we don't grow that much, I'm okay, because I have a feeling, well, we just need to get positive, right? If we can get positive by the end of this episode, that will be the key. And if we can just keep vehicles, like make sure that we've steadily got fuel and not too much that we're overloading. When I say we're kind of overloading this station, so let's see how that goes. Now, are we overloading Reversboro? No, so that's good. So we still have room to send more fuel. And like I said, I don't think I'm going to try to overflow Riverdale there, Fort Riverdale. But we'll see what happens. All right, let me pause it, and I will come back when we've got a better feel. I'm not going to change much. I'm not going to take out any loans or buy any vehicles without you guys. So I will be back in a little bit. Okay, once again, I have paused time just for a minute to show you exactly where we're at. So I went again to another January here. So I forget exactly how many years, but it's been a few years. I think we were here, and this chart is nice, but every time you spend money, like this is a little bit misleading in the fact that if we come back to the table, if we spent money this year on investments, like we bought another vehicle at this point, or I think that's what I bought. Oh yeah, I bought another vehicle just to balance out the, I told you I wasn't going to buy any vehicles, but I did to balance out the wheat a little bit better. But let's go and take a look at the railroad, because that's what I think I want to do right now, is improve this railroad, and I'll show you why. If we take a look at the finances of the railroad, the reason we didn't make money last year, we lost $82,000, is because this train just got in the station, right? So if he had come in like a week or two earlier, and that's actually why I stopped it, was as soon as he got in, like it was the start of the year, you can see we have profit here. So we're going to have another year where we have more income. And I'm thinking that this seems like it's going to be the trend, where this year will be profitable. And I'm betting you this is the trend, where we get, in 5 years, we get 2 profitable years with the train. So I took those 5 years and I added up how much money we made, and it would be around $1,800, right? 256 or 200. It's going to vary a little bit. 256 times 7, right? Because we had 7 trains come in, and then divide that by 5, and that would be $358,000 per year on average. And then our expenses every year are around 218 here. If you want to take, this one was a little bit higher, not exactly sure why on the running cost, but 236. So that means we're making over 100,000, 120,000 a year, which means that if we could double the number of trains, theoretically we would double this, more than double the profit, because if we come over here to the railroad, we're not going to increase our maintenance infrastructure. And even if we increase the number of train tracks, and I have no idea why this would have cost more one year to the next. I didn't buy any more train tracks, but do they get older? I don't know. Or is it just a tick kind of thing where it's, I don't know. But in any event, so even if our track maintenance goes up a little bit, I mean, even if we doubled it, we would still be making money, right? Even if we paved that the whole way. Or not paved it, put a new double track the whole way. And I don't think we really need it, or even want a double track the whole way, because we want these trains to stay like opposite of each other. Like we don't want one catching up to the other one somehow. And I was sort of looking, like this train just got to here, right? So the other train in theory would be pulling into here. And I've watched this a couple times. So if we come to this station, look, there's 69. So if another train was pulling in, I think we're going to have enough people in both stations. So like, in other words, by the time this one gets all the way down to the other end, we would have this one pulling out, if that makes sense. I hope it does. So what I would like to do, the bottom line is borrow enough money that we can buy another one of these trains. Now we got another upgraded train here, but I think I'm just, for the sake of, let me look at the vehicles. Like this vehicle here, the General, we're at the Baldwin, cost us $43,000 a year. This guy would cost us $79,000 a year, and I don't want to throw off the balance, if that makes sense. Like I don't think that this train costing twice as much and per year and costing twice as much would do that much more for us, unless we upgraded this one as well. And I don't really think it's worth upgrading this one at this point. Not this one, but the one we actually own, wherever it is. So in other words, what I think I'd like to do is buy this, and then 1, 2, 3, right? And so that would mean we'd have to borrow three loans, $500,000, $1.5 million in order to pay for this. So let's go ahead and do that. So that's going to be another $15,000 a year, but I think that's going to pay for itself. Does that make, I hope, 100% sense? So if we come to here, yep, and this is the same exact kind of vehicle as the other one. But then now on the other hand, I don't necessarily... Yeah, I don't want to start this guy out until... Do we buy it? Yeah, let's just buy it, and we'll leave him in there until this guy gets past here. Right? Like, I want this guy to be heading that way, and then we'll let this guy loose. Now, what I want to do with the money that we have left over before we run out of it is like, you know, halfway. Now, this guy loops around and back, right? So if let's see, I don't know what's... I guess this is in the middle of the screen. This exclamation mark would be like right here, right? But then, yeah, let's go a little bit. No, we'd have to go a little further this way, right? Because this one loops back about 2 inches on my, or an inch on my screen, whatever it is. Yeah, so we'd want to give maybe even a little bit more. Like this would probably be the middle. Oh, and that's kind of good because it's at the top of a hill, right? So we're going to take and kind of just, I think we should just build as much track as I think we can safely afford, like in this area, right? It's just, I don't think it cost us any extra to, right? And then we might as well go, yeah, let's go to the top of the hill as a priority because I'd rather them... Like if this train is coming this way, and I don't want to run up my maintenance costs too much, but yeah, I think if we can get to the top of that hill, right now we're down to 100,000, right? So if the guy's waiting, he's going to be waiting in this flat area, and the other guy will be waiting on the hill going down. Yeah, because that'll keep him going a little faster in case they pass each other in the night. Stretch that out a little bit, right? And then we're going to want some signals. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to put the signal on the straight so that when we delete this, we may not have to delete this signaling. Right? If we put it right here, I guess this other side wouldn't have mattered. It doesn't matter that much, right? But if we put it here, we may delete this section of track, but we wouldn't, I don't think, delete this one. Yeah, I think I just made it. All right, then we just have to do the same thing down here. And that should be enough extra track that there's a decent chance that they'll pass each other. And if they don't, it means they're out of timing, and we should get them back on timing. If that, maybe we didn't do this exactly perfectly, right? Yeah, so we're going to stretch this out so it stays faster. Just, whoa, what is all that about? Yeah, see how they won't slow down. And then we'll need 2 more signals. Again, put it on the straight part. All right, that way, not a big deal, but that way we don't have to... There we go. So now... Oops. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of funny. When you go to place things, your WASD kind of goes. So let's play some time. All right, and we'll get this train out of here because this one can only head this way. So, oh, look, it's costing us 15... Why did it cost us so much money? Or was that... No, let's click here. Does that cost us money? Yeah, minus 15,000. That's... It shouldn't cost you money when they're sitting in the depot, right? Look at the values. Yeah, we shouldn't have bought that train. Yeah, well, we'll live and learn. Yeah, that's kind of unfair if you ask me. But we need to wait for this guy to get... Well, really past this signal, or close, darn close to it anyway, because otherwise I think this guy won't come out of the station because he'll send somebody on the track. At least it seems like he should do that. We'll see. Maybe we'll set him free and see if this guy comes out when this guy's past there. And really, somebody was saying, oh, the white shows you the range. Well, I don't want to see the range of these things. I want it to stay green. You know, I don't know. Could I? Yeah. See, is there any way I can get rid of this whiteness whenever I'm clicked on one of these? Well, there you go. That kind of did it. Okay. So you have to. But see what I'm saying? I don't need this to be white every time I click on that. Now let's do a little extra fast forward for the sake of YouTube, if nothing else. Yeah, so I think that's unfair that this guy's... Now, maybe there was just some initial... Let's see what happens. Yeah, let's see at the end of the month. Does this guy hit us again? No, he doesn't seem... Let's see, when this guy hits us, does this guy hit us? I'm not sure how often they actually hit us for running costs, but... Alright, and then we'll just slow it down just so we can see for sure. Right, so we'll set train number 2 to here. Does he come out? Is he coming out or is he... Yeah, he's coming out. Okay, good. So he doesn't care. He has no signal there. This guy should be able to keep going as long as we got our signaling straight. Good. So that should... They might be out of time on their first trip, and I think we're going to have to come back in the next episode. And I don't know... I guess the last thing I'd like to show you guys is... And let's take another look. This seems to be constantly changing, but... And this is like more perfect now. So hopefully the timing of them is perfect. But if you look, 54 seconds, 108, that's perfect as far as the time goes. This one's not. So this is 40 is the crude oil. And we want that to be half of the oil to fuel. But then this one's a little bit off, right? But it's still close enough. Look at that, even got a little tiny bit better. So maybe if they're waiting for things to happen, it kind of self-corrects a little bit, but I think that's in real good shape. And then the big concern I have here with our passenger line is, are we going to have enough people, right? So like, and we may need to wait and see a little bit. And I'm not sure how best to show that on YouTube, but at this point we have 37 people. So if this guy's coming down here and waits, he should be pretty good to go. And then I'm just hoping that we have enough passengers to keep these guys full, because if they start running half empty, we're in trouble. So let's just hope. Now we got, pretty darn good food going to here, so we should be growing Fort Riverdale, and we're not doing anything in Reverville as far as growing it goes, but I'm hoping that this just, really increased the amount of profit that we can get. But I'm going to have to hold you guys in suspense. We'll let this guy get into the station, turn around, and then, like I said, I think I might play a little bit of time and just let you guys know how it went. And then when I'm ready to actually do some things, and hopefully some of those things, like I might end up paying off some of our debt that we just incurred. We really need to get down from that 8 million, or at least get to the point where, like, we may decide to do something else. It may be worth keeping the debt each year, but rather than pay it off, like we need to save up some money here at some point. It's just, if nothing else, we want to upgrade all of our vehicles, right? So we're down to being able to borrow another $2 million, and that's not a good thing. So, but there we go. So we have a train, and look, 44 people, so he'll be able to pull in here and get on the road. And then hopefully this guy's headed past this point, so that's good. That means I got my signals in the right direction, right? Yeah, that looks good. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you guys for your comments. They really made the difference. I haven't watched a lot of other people's videos. One of the comments suggested that I do. But in a game like this, I really like figuring out the mechanics, mostly for myself. But it certainly helps when somebody goes, hey, you're being a knucklehead, do X, Y, Z. And plus, I also consider this a bit of a community effort, too. So I definitely appreciate the advice. It's truly made the difference. Your guys, nobody told me to go delete these stations, but the more you guys made comments about the cost of maintenance, it just really made a lot of sense to me. So, all right, well, I will talk to you guys in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching, and thanks for all your likes and subscriptions. As I said before, the subscriptions really shot up, so I think a few people are enjoying this series. And I hope you continue. Let me know if you'd like to see anything in particular. And have a good day. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.